Welcome to another edition of the Hour of Grace Ministry. Today, Hour of Grace is here to bless your heart again. Please, if you're just coming online, we would like you to share this message, and we need your comments and your contribution. Maybe you have a question concerning what we're about to teach here. So, Hour of Grace today is honored and blessed to have our Papa, Reverend Joseph Seisay, on the line. So you guys are blessed today because all your questions about what our topic is will be answered. Pastor, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome again.
Thank you.
So today our topic of discussion is going to be living the dream. Living the dream. I know we all have a dream, and we stated in our Facebook page that anyone without a dream has no future. Tell me about your dream, I will tell you your future. But some people tend to ignore dreams. Every dream have a meaning, and every dream has an impact in your destiny. So please, we're here to just tell you how you can live your dream, how you can convey the dream, and how you can give back to your dream. Stay tuned. Over to you, Brother Powell.
Well, folks, if you're just joining us, this is Hour of Grace. We come to you every Saturday at 1 p.m. to discuss issues in the kingdom business. Today, we are privileged to host the senior pastor of the Blessed Assurance Bible Church in Columbus, Ohio, a very young, humble servant of God, well-known preacher of the gospel.
Amen.
So today, you will be opportune to be revealed to some of those things that been confusing you. Many times, some people will call and say, "I have this dream, and this is my dream, and I don't know what this dream is about." But we'll be discussing different type of dream. The dream that you have when you are sleeping, and the dream that you envision that you just sit down by yourself and you see something happening for you tomorrow, what you want to be tomorrow. We'll be discussing those two dreams, and let's see how best we can answer some of the questions. So we want you to use this time, just give for a few minutes to just discuss what is dream, the importance of dream, what have you dreamed, and is it important to discuss your dream with somebody? Is it important to live by your dream? Is it important to wait for that dream to come to reality? Stay tuned as we discuss this issue.
Yes, Papa. So we have so many questions here. So the first thing we want our viewers to know, because some people don't know the meaning of dreams, some people don't know what is a dream, some people don't know how to live in their dream. But first of all, can we just define the meaning of dream to our viewers out there?
Thank you, Deaconess Beatrice and Minister Powell, for another opportunity you guys have given me to come here this afternoon to speak on this topic to our viewers out there all over the globe. The question, what is a dream? Of course, most of us, if I ask somebody now, he can answer that question, because every one of us is familiar with dreams. As Powell said, there are different types of dreams, but today we are going to limit ourselves basically the dream that has to do with your destiny. Because some dreams, the common dreams we all know is when somebody sleeps, then he begins to recollect, certain things begin to happen. You are now in another form wherein you are in the subconscious, and things happen, things unfolding which you are not aware of at the time you are sleeping, until you get up in the morning and you begin to recollect. Some scientists says most of the things we dream we don't remember when we wake up, and those things have to do with your daily activities. You know, those things have to do with stuff in the subconscious mind of your brain. The brain goes through processing those activities, those plans, those stuff you may have spoken about that were incomplete. So in the process of the brain, you know, processing them, you see stories, you see clear, you know, manifestations in the dream. But we are not talking about that this afternoon. We're talking about a dream that has to do with your destiny. This I can define as an inspired thought or futuristic proposals that inspires somebody. You know, it is an inspired thought or futuristic proposal that one aspires to fulfill. In other words, what do I mean here? It means that the thoughts in you are inspired about some future goals you want to fulfill. And for us to get a clear understanding about these two things, we'll have to understand. Number one here, every dream has to do with an inspiration. A dream must be inspired. And number two, a dream should be aspired to. You know, so we are talking about inspiration and aspiration. The inspirational aspect of your dream has to do with something you are not taking a part on. You know, it has to do with a deposit, a divine deposit God has put inside you, a divine assignment, a divine something you are aiming to achieve, but you did not put that inside you. Whereas the aspiration aspect of your dream has to do with your own effort, your own activity, what you can do to fulfill this as inspired thought inside you. So it's very more important for us to know those two things. Every dream has an inspiration, every dream has an aspiration.
Wow. Welcome again. We just started, but I'm feeling blessed right now. I never knew that those two things, you know, are involved in our dream. As Pastor said earlier, he said every dream has two things. He said must be inspired. That's like, it's by grace. We can classify that under grace. You know, you don't have to make an effort for that dream to come true. You don't have to work for that dream to come true, because it has been ordained, it has been deposited since you were born. And the other thing you said is aspiration, which has to do with your own effort, your own commitment, your own devotion. So welcome again to another edition of the Hour of Grace. Today our topic of discussion is living the dream. We are talking about dreams that has to do with your destiny, dreams that has to do with your achievement, and dream that has to place you in a certain place that God Himself wants you to be. Over to you, Brother Powell.
So, I got 2 points. Dream is either inspiration or aspiration. So the inspiration, what is the importance of a dream being inspiration to ourselves, to our community, to our people?
Okay. I think you didn't get that part clearly.
Okay.
Dreams do not have two different, but the inspiration and the aspiration should be in every
dream. Oh, so a dream should possess.
It possesses inspiration and aspiration.
Okay.
For example, let's look at Genesis 37, which is our main text. Okay, our main text. When Joseph dreamt, Joseph had no control over his dream. Those things he dreamt, he had no control. Remember when I was defining dream in the literal aspect, I said these are thoughts you have in you that you have no control over. When you sleep, stuff happen, you don't control them. Otherwise, everybody would have dreamt to be, a millionaire like Bill Gates if we have control over them. The English proverb says, if wishes were horses, even beggars might ride. If wishes, what we wish, if they turn to horses, beggars can even ride horses.
Right.
So, dreams have the inspirational aspect in which that aspect has to do with the deposit, the divine deposit, what God puts inside you. And that's why Joseph said, oh, I have a dream. And what was his dream? That the moon and the star bowing to him. He did not create that. That was inspired by God. God made that to happen. And in another occasion, he said, I also dream what? We went to the farm to do farming, to harvest food crops, and my own sheaves, my own bundles of food crop, stood in the middle, and all yours, were around me. So he did not have any control over that. But how does Joseph came into his dream for it to become a reality? It's character. Okay. For your dream to come to pass, you have a role to play. So you see, when Joseph went to Potiphar's house, he was tried and tested there. But the Bible says, yet he never slept with Potiphar's wife. So character. Joseph was being prepared to be a prime minister. He was being prepared to be a great political leader. And because he was prepared to be a great icon, character must count so much. Character must count so much. So he has to work on that. That's the aspiration aspect. He has to put on some, effort. He has to put on some deliberate and conscious effort for him to maintain his character. The reason why our politicians, the reason why people are failing today, God's people, is because of character. So Joseph had to maintain, Joseph had to cultivate, Joseph had to work upon his character. We saw when he was taken into jail, what was the Lord trying to do? He was trying to what? Tame up his patience. Shaping up his patience. Perseverance. He never did that. When he interpreted that dream for that official, the man went and forgot. I think it was about 2 years. He forgot. Joseph, God was trying to shape his patience. So many leaders don't have patience. Right. That's why they scatter. They can start ministries, church, pop, everybody's gone because of lack of patience. So many politicians don't have patience. They can say whatever they want to say in the crowd. So Joseph deliberately came into his dream through the aspirational aspect, his own effort.
So, Pastor, quickly, is there a difference between dream and vision?
Dream. Well, we want to talk about dream here. As I said, a dream has to do with an inspired thought. It's a thought. Okay. A thought that is in you, in which you are aspiring to fulfill. Whereas the vision, when we talk about vision, that's what we're seeing, sight, vision, sight. You see something ahead. So most times, a vision works with a dream. Okay. You see where you are going. For example, maybe Brother Powell is looking at being a president at 60 at Liberia. So you've dreamt that and you are seeing it. Because you are seeing it, you are putting every aspect in place, the aspirational aspect for you to reach there. So vision has to do with seeing your dream. Whereas dream has to be a thought, perception of your thoughts.
Amen. So my question is, before we move to another level, Pastor, so God can deposit the inspirational part in your dream. So if you don't work, you don't commit yourself, you don't make an effort, that deposit will die.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's unfortunate, Sister Beatrice, that the grave, somebody says the grave is the richest place on earth, because so many people have died and gone to the grave without realizing their potentials. So many people who have been first-class world athletes died without practicing the aspirational aspect. They dreamt it, but they were not practicing for them to achieve that. Or maybe they dreamt it, but they never did any effort. So you can have a dream inside you, but if you fail to do the other aspect of it, you will not fulfill that at all. You will die and become a nobody because you fail to push forward your dream.
Folks, if you are just watching or you're just joining online, this is Hour of Grace. We come to you every Saturday at 1 p.m. We discuss issues about God's kingdom, salvation, and our life today discussion. Today we're discussing dream. What is dream? What is the importance of dream? And the man of God just told us that, just took at one point, he said, for the dream to come true, for the dream to come to pass, you have a part to play. So dream is not just you envision this, it just happened. You have to work towards it. And you were making reference to Joseph, that came a time Joseph had a dream that one day he would be the head of the family, even the parents would bow down to him, but he had to play his own part. When he was sent to Potiphar's house, when he was sent to jail, there were tests in time of testing for him, and he passed through all of the tests. So sometimes your dream will not come to pass when you don't play your own part. So that the sister was just asking, for our dream to come to reality, you have to make some sacrifices. You have to make some effort. You have to put in some time. You have to make some effort. So dream will not just come to pass. Even though you've seen it, you envision it, you have the potential. But remember I just said, for your dream to come to pass, you also have a part to play. Wow. Stay tuned as we discuss. And he just told that vision and dream. The vision is what you see, what you think is going to happen for you. You're looking at this thing, you say, I see myself in 5 years' time, I see myself like this. But what are you doing in 5 years' time? What are you doing from now to 5 years' time? If you don't work on what you are seeing yourself to be in 5 years' time, the dream will die. So I wanted to ask, does dreams come to pass? Is dream reality?
Say it again.
Is dream reality? Does dream come to pass? Let's say you were making an example. I see myself in 5 years' time to be somebody, wow, from this position. Does this thing really happen?
Oh yes. Every dream has processes. Dreams have processes. You don't dream today to become a president. The next tomorrow they make you a president. It happens. It has to go through processes. Right. Just like Joseph, as we are studying, Joseph had the dream, and it took him so many years, 13 years basically, when Joseph had the dream, and until the time he realized his dream. Some other people 50 years, some other people 20 years before it comes to pass, so it has processes, and this is what I want to discuss quickly. I always call it the 3 C's of the dream. When the time you have the dream, I call it the catching the dream, or what we call the conception period stage of the dream. Then carrying the dream, that is the incubation period, or the pregnancy period, the time you are carrying your dream, and the last phase of the dream is called the conveying period. Convey, the time you birth, the birthing process. So dreams go through these 3 processes: catching the dream, carrying the dream, and conveying the dream. And all of these 3 aspects are very, very important. However, if you want to succeed, if you want to have your destiny fulfilled, these 3 aspects must be taken into cognizance. What is the carrying aspect? That is the aspect, like the catching. That's the inspired aspect. You have no control over that. So the first aspect is the inspirational aspect, in which God deposits the dream into you. Remember I told you a dream has 2 phases, the inspirational aspect and the aspirational aspect. Okay, this part of the dream is when God deposits inside. So, my brother, you are going to be president. Oh, my brother, you are going to be an evangelist. Oh, my brother. And the Bible says he made some, God made some to be teachers. He made some to be pastors. He made some to be evangelists. He made some to be apostles. You see, we did not make ourselves, but he made us. We did not deposit those dreams, those character qualities in us. The Lord deposited them. It's just like a pregnant woman. A woman cannot impregnate herself. She needs a seed from a man. So the catching aspect of the dream has to do with the deposition of the seed, the destiny seed into somebody. Just like a man depositing, the male egg, the male sperm or the sperm into the woman for her to be able to get pregnant, to catch the baby. So you see, she doesn't have to do anything about that because it is not coming from her. It is somebody else that is bringing that to her, depositing. So the deposition aspect of your dream is beyond your control. And next after that, we have to be very, very careful at this stage what they deposit inside you. And sometimes the devil can come in and deposit stuff inside you that are ungodly. So you have to be very, very careful. Don't make yourself available for the devil, for bad people, enemies to deposit bad seeds inside you. Remember the parable of the tares. The Bible says a farmer went to sow in the field, and when he went to sow his seed, he sowed good seed. And what happened? Overnight, what happened? The devil came back and deposited in that same good soil. Remember, the soil was good. Huh? But two seeds were deposited on that soil. The good seed and the bad seed. So we are also as human beings. Our bodies, our thoughts are fertile ground for the devil and for God. It depends who comes in and deposits the seed inside you. So that is what you catch will determine what you convey. What you get in will determine what you give back to. The Bible says the seed is known by what the fruit it produces. The seed is known by the fruit it produces. So whatsoever fruit that comes out of you depends on the seed you planted, whatsoever you planted. The other aspect, I don't know whether you want me to run through it. The other aspect of this dream after the catching phase or the deposition phase is the carrying phase, or what I call the pregnancy phase.
No. Pastor, before you go to the carrying,
right?
My attention is drawn to the catching aspect of the dream. Folks, if you just watch, we are discussing dream. If you have any comment, if you got question, you can post it. I see you, Reverend Alvin, Marquette, I see you. If you got any contribution, you can just post it and we can discuss it. The pastor was discussing dream, and so he gave 3 points of dream. Dream number 1, we said there is a process called the catching of the dream, that realizing the dream, seeing the dream, and the second aspect is carrying the dream. When you realize the dream, when you catch the dream, you have to carry the dream, and then the last part is conveying the dream or giving birth to the dream. So my question is, can someone see your dream in you that you are not seeing?
That you have catch.
Let's say see a potential in you, but you as a person, you don't see it. Can somebody see that dream in you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that was the point I wanted to come. When we come to the carrying process, which is the incubation, process, or the pregnancy process, that is the time somebody will realize that, oh, you're carrying something. And that is the time the devil will fight you the more. And this is the most difficult process in the whole dream process. Carrying time. It's just like that is the most difficult time, for a mother when she's pregnant. She feels nauseated, she feels tired, all kind of bad, odd feelings. Sometimes she can even feel to go to the toilet and sit down, eating unedible stuff, that's the most difficult process. And that is the time the devil sees our potentials. That is the time the enemy sees our potentials. And that was the time Joseph's enemies, his brothers, saw his potential. If you look at Genesis chapter 37, verse 20, the Bible says they took him and dumped him into the pit. They said, come, let us cast him into this pit. Okay? And let us see what will become of his dream. So, the more Joseph explained his dream, the more they hated him the more.
Right.
And now, because they saw that, this man is carrying something, so they wanted to destroy it.
Right.
And that's why they said, let us cast him into the pit so that we'll see what will become of his dream. So the target of the brothers was not to just annihilate him or kill him, but they wanted to kill his dream. So most people, they are after your dream, not after you at all. Right. Some people will come after you, befriend you. They are not real buddies. They are not real friends. They are after what you carry. They want to come and destroy what you carry. So you have to be very, very careful. And this is the most delicate aspect. Just like pregnancy period is the most delicate aspect in a woman's life. So is this period of carrying a dream. If you know you have a dream, you've conceived a dream, you know that dream, be careful what you eat. Be careful who you associate yourself with. Be careful where you go. Be careful how you do things, because the devil is very much active. Enemies are very much active at that time to destroy the dream. Just like the mother that has that baby. You know, if you do some adverse stuff, the baby will come out. Your dream will come out. So it's very, very important as for us as people, as Christians, you know, during that time when you are carrying the dream, what you say out to people. Because we also have dream killers, dream stealers. There are people that kill your dream. There are people that steal your dream. So you have to be very careful. And this time, everybody will come after you when you are carrying a dream. You will have few friends and more enemies during this time. It's just like in a football match, okay? Messi is playing in the field. But Messi, even though he is one of the most prolific footballers, soccer players in the world, if he plays in a field, in a game, and he doesn't have the ball, you will find out that most of his opponents will not come after him. Why? Because he doesn't have the dream. The dream is the ball. The dream is the ball. So whosoever has that ball, that person might not be more prominent like Messi. But for as long as that person has the ball, people will come after him. They will run after him because they will not want him to score. So it's very, very important. You are having a ball in you, and your enemies will come after you, run after you because you have the ball. So most times when you see challenges, problems are coming after you, know that you are a potential scorer. You have something in you, and the devil is running after you so that you will not score against him. You know, if they allow you to score, that's why you see when somebody holds the ball, everybody will run after him because they will stop him from scoring the ball. And that is your dream child. You want to score, and the devil wants to stop you not to score.
And in this process, welcome again to another edition of the Hour of Grace. Today we are discussing a very, very important topic that will change your entire life. Some people have ignored their dream. Dreams are not to be ignored. They are very, very important because they comes from God. And the other thing, Pastor, in carrying this dream, you know, after catching it, because you have to catch it before you can carry it.
Right.
You know, so these two stages, they are very important before we go to the next stage. But like in carrying this dream, sometimes the dream has to be mature. You know, then I see if you are carrying this dream, you know, your attitude also change. Before you catching the dream, your attitude were not like, you know, because you know you are carrying something, just like a pregnant woman, as you said. If you're pregnant, not every places you go, not every smell you smell. Some smell that you used to smell, as soon as you smell them when you're carrying your dream, you know, it makes you upset. Not every houses you enter. So this is a very delicate, your attitude change too. Your reaction change. That's how people, Pastor Powell, you were asking, how can people see the dream in you? How can people tell that you have a dream? They can only tell, as Pastor said, when you are carrying this dream. Because if you are carrying a pregnancy, people will know. You will become weak. And those days, you have to be careful because the dream has to be mature. It's a very delicate stage, as you said, Pastor.
All right, folks. No. All right, folks. If you just joining us, we are discussing. This is Hour of Grace. We're discussing dream today. We have the Homo 7, Reverend Josef Seisay, and he's discussing to us the meaning of dream and points of dream. He said dream have 3 categories: the stage of catching the dream, realizing the dream, and carrying the dream, and conveying the dream. And as you were just saying, dreams are spotlights. Dreams, when you are carrying the dream, people focus on you. It doesn't matter who you are. Like the example you just gave, even though Messi is a well-known footballer, when he doesn't have the football, nobody got time for you. So your dream is a spotlight. Your dream is what people look at to either like you or hate you. So based upon that, don't overlook your dream. Don't overlook yourself. See yourself as a very important person, because it does not matter who is in that room. What matters is what you are carrying. So you see, the room can be filled with potential people, but you matter right now, because what you say and do It's what people listen to. So your dream is very, very important. Don't overlook your dream. Like you were saying, no matter who holds the football, he's the focal point. Messi can be on that field. If he's not holding the football, nobody has time for him. It is noted of Messi in particular. Whenever Argentina is playing a major game, he doesn't really score. He doesn't really play much football. But he's the most important person on that football field, though. But he doesn't have the football. So while he's on that team, there are other people on that team that people focusing on, and not him because he doesn't have the football. So your dream is important. You carry something that is very, very much bigger than what you think. So people focusing on you, people jealousy. Like last time I was teaching to the church, and I was teaching on reread your story. People will hate you for no reason. You may not understand why they are hating you. You may not understand why they are against you. But there is something about you that people hate you for. So the reason why people fighting you, people want to see you down, is because there is a dream in you that they don't want to see you realize. The devil had, you see, Pastor just said, catching the dream. The process of catching the dream is not too hard. A level you to say, I want to continue this dream or not. But when you agree to catch the dream and to carry the dream, it is the time now to be careful. Because at the time now you're on the spotlight. People watching you now to see your fault. People watching to see your downfall. People watching to see whether you will improve on this dream.
Or whether you will score.
So when Hannah had cried for so many times, wanting to catch the dream, when she finally got the dream, then she became the spotlight. People started wondering how it happened, how this thing happened. So Hannah wanted to bluff down. She started spitting and making some, some sound. So at this time, you are under the spotlight. So we just want to encourage you that your dream is important. It is important to hold on to your dream. You see, Joseph had a very focused point. He knew that this dream will have saved Israel from so many things. So while he was at the home, there was a temporary opportunity. He did not have opportunity. When he went to jail, he did not forget himself. He knew that there was a dream to save Israel tomorrow. So he held on to that dream. So folks, we don't want to encourage you that dreams are important. But if you catch the dream, if you agree to carry that, to accept the dream, the process of carrying the dream is important. Stay tuned as we discuss dreams. And your comments will be very much important. Just send in your comment, tell us what you know about dream, or ask questions. The man of us here is going to answer you.
Yeah, Pastor, we were on the conveying stage. So how is the conveying stage different from the carrying stage and the catching stage?
Yes, well, as I said, the dreams are in process. The catching stage is the time you get the dream, they deposited the dream in you. That was not your own effort. And the carrying aspect now has to do with your aspiration. Aspiration is what you do to guard your dream, to guard the vision. And so many dreams have been dropped in this stage. So many people have not been able to go to the third stage because they failed to do the right thing. They caught up with bad friends, they were being tempted and they fell into temptation. They got discouraged. At this time it's very, very delicate. You have this dream, but the devil comes after you so much. It's just like a Pharaoh when Moses was to be born, he had the revelation, that a savior will be born to set the people free. So he did everything possible to annihilate him, to kill him. Just like Herod did with Jesus. They know if we allow this to happen, he will smash us. And that's the time the devil is very much active. And let us also be careful of dream stealers. This is the time they steal a dream, and at this time most people will abandon their dreams and follow other people's dreams. At this stage, they've lived their dreams. For example, you are a praiser, you pray so well, people move, the Spirit of God move. I have a preaching spirit. I have a preaching dream. I have a teaching dream. I said, no, nobody will identify me if I continue to be teaching or preaching, or nobody will know me if I continue to just be staying in the church. Let me go into singing. So I live my own dream and run after your dream. So as a result, I become nobody, because what God deposited in me, I abandoned it. And this is what is happening today in the church, in the ministries. Because Pastor Stephen, because Pastor James is excelling in ministry, my brother is excelling in ministry, I also want to do what he is doing. I forgot what the Lord has called me. Maybe God just called me to be a praiser at the church. He called me to stay in the choir. He called me to be a prayer leader, a prayer team leader. But I want to be on the spotlight. I want to be holding the mic every Sunday. I want to be on the spotlight every Sunday. So what do? I forgot about what God has called me and begin to run with somebody else's dream. So at the end of the day, you will not reach your destination. You will not achieve. You will not convey your destiny, your dream child, because you are doing the wrong thing.
Reverend McKay said dreams are very important in our Christian life, sojourn, most especially now that we are in the end time. Bible says folks will have vision and they will dreams and etc. However, one must be careful with interpretation of dreams. We often misinterpret our dream and miss out on what God's real intent for is within our dreams. So we have to be careful with our dreams. And sometimes when we dream these dreams, when we see this vision, we interpret different than what you're saying. You are called for a specific purpose in the kingdom. You are called to do this thing. But many of us, we are not known for nothing. We just want to do anything that other people do. So when we misinterpret this dream, we lost the focus. Because we have a target. God said, I want you to do this thing for me. You are a preacher. But because you feel that this preacher can preach and sing at the same time, you want to do the same thing. So that we don't know who you are. You want to live somebody's dream. That's how you were preaching on living another person's dream. And when you start to live other people's dream, you kill that
your own baby.
Yes. Baby, yeah. You kill your own baby because you live in somebody and live in what is deposited in you.
Right.
So folks, thank you very Michael for that beautiful contribution. Welcome, Bishop Power. We're discussing dream. What is your thought on that? We have the Homo 7 here with us at Hour of Grace. We're discussing what is dream. He just told us that dreams is in three categories: the process of catching the dream, the process of carrying the dream, and the process of conveying or giving birth to the dream. And our pastor just contributed that we got to be careful with how we interpret our dream, because sometimes we misinterpret the dream and do different things. And Pastor just gave you straight your light on living another person's dream, because you think this man, you are all in the same field, he's preaching, you're preaching, but he can sing better than you, so you want to sing and preach. Sometimes you don't even have the voice to sing. You don't even have the anointing to sing. Sometimes we can have the voice to sing, but the anointing matters. We all can sing, but there are certain people when they hold a microphone, there is an anointing that is attached to that office.
Has been made.
There are certain people. The last time Bishop Achiboko, he preached a sermon and he was describing, I've been hearing the devil is a rolling lion, it's like rolling lion. But he was describing the snake at the time. He said, if God can say the serpent is like a rolling lion, it means at the time he was that creature. But because of disobedience, so they fought and everything went in. So he had that feature in. So when he explained that, another Bishop Otabel from Ghana, he was the only person that made me to turn my anger from Jacob. Because all along preachers have been preaching about Jacob being corrupt and everything, but he gave another scenario of Jacob, that it was an opportunity for Jacob. So there are gifts God gives to people in different areas.
Right.
So when God has deposited that in you, you have to make use of that opportunity. Don't try to be the other people. Don't let other people dream. So folks, we appreciate you if you get somebody say, "Oh, Reverend Donald Kroman." It's a beautiful topic. Thank you for watching, sir.
Right.
So,
Yes,
let's go.
welcome again to another edition of the Hour of Grace. You can send your question, your comment. We are talking about dream. We are with our Reverend Pastor Joseph Seisay that is teaching us today. We are so blessed to have him in the studio. So our scripture was taken from Genesis chapter 37, verse 9. He said, and he dreamed yet another dream. Joseph had been dreaming.
Yeah.
Amen. He said, and he dreamed yet another dream and told it to his brethren and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. And he told it to the father and to his brethren, and his father rebuked him and said unto him, what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee, to the ark? And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the same. So, Pastor, in living the dream, what are the challenges for you to live in the dream that you dream?
Okay, thank you. Challenges of living the dream. We still come back to the processes of the dream. Remember I told you, you catch it, you convey it, and you bath it. So the challenges here has to do with bathing your dream. It's tough. Anything you get so quickly and easily, watch out. It might be a trap. Whatsoever you aspire to be, if it is come so quickly and easily, it might be fake. Whatsoever you aspire, you are thinking about being, if it comes so quickly and easily, it is a photocopy. Because real dreams come out with bad pains. So bathing your dream takes effort, deliberate effort, conscious effort. It takes prayer. It takes sweating. It takes you putting some energies into it, resources in it. Studying very, very hard. It takes courage. It takes perseverance. It takes patience. Just as we saw Joseph, we saw Jesus, we saw David, and all these other people that succeeded in their dream. So today we see to the men of God, after knowing one or two scriptures, what do they want to have bigger congregations? So what do you see them doing? Manipulating the gospel. They don't want to spend time. They don't want to pay the price. They don't want to go down on their knees. They don't want to, the Lord to mold them, to shape them. Just like God did with Joseph. God had to squeeze Joseph so hard for him to be the fitable candidate, prime minister in Egypt. So dream, for you to back your dream, just like that woman in the labor room, it takes passion, it takes power, it takes energy, to push, and we don't want to do that. That's why most of the kids we are burning today are fake kids. That's why most of the stuff are given out today, fake. They don't go too far. Just watch them. They die because the foundation is not there. They didn't go through this process of incubation and birthing, and until you go through pain, you will not bring forth your child. The Bible says, until Zion travails, he will not bring forth his child. So that's very, very important.
Wow. So, talking about pregnant woman, that opened my eyes, Pastor. That is one of my favorite scripture. It takes a lot of pushing. Friends, if you're just coming in, your dreams are important. And one thing Hour of Grace would like you to know, you dream a dream, but that dream is not only for you. Joseph had a dream, but the dream that Joseph had, his brethren, his father didn't know that dream was to save them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So your dream is not only for you. Your dream is to save a whole nation. And it's so sad for you to just wake up in the morning and you don't remember your dream, because that might be your future. Reverend, you're gonna talk on that. How can people be able to remember? What can they do? Because a dream is a deposit, and until that deposit has been made, before you can be able to put an aspiration, an effort. If the deposit is not there, what can you live for? You have to get the seed before you can roll the seed or before you can plant the seed. So you're going to talk on that a little bit. But I just want us to read the scripture. John chapter 16, verse 20. This is, oh God, maybe I missed the scripture. God have mercy. I think I just know.
All right, so while you're looking for that, Bishop Powell said, thanks for the fascinating topic. Dreams are eye-opener for the future. It says, as conduit through which God speaks to his people.
Yeah.
So God speaks to his people, like what he was saying, what people should remember the dream is important because maybe you are the only person that God want to use to give on this message.
Yeah.
So when you wake up and you cannot remember the dream, or you can give direct quotation of what the Lord wants to speak to somebody, you are not just killing that person's dream, you kill a generation.
Yeah.
Because there is a message for a generation. And you are the messenger to save that generation. So if you cannot convey that message properly, then there's a problem.
Then the other thing is, if you are the messenger that God gave the message, you have to have focus.
Yeah.
If Joseph didn't have focus, he would have fallen from the house of Potiphar. So in life, don't just say it is the pastor, it is the bishop, it is the deaconess, it is the deacon. Everybody must have a focus to carry that dream. There are people's lives attached to your dream. The Bible says, Pastor, the scripture that I wanted to give in John chapter 16, verse 20. It said, verily, 21. It said, a woman, when she is in travail, had sorrow, because her hour is come. But as soon as he is delivered of a child, she remember no more the anguish for joy that a man is born into the world. That is our dream. That is like a dream. A woman, when she is in travail, that's carrying the child. After you catch the child, you are carrying the child.
Right.
You are in pain. You are in anguish. You will say, after this child, I will never give birth again. Because then, in you giving birth to that child, a lot of pushing, a lot of pain, a lot of contraction, a lot of tears.
Right.
Sometimes you even tend to give up in carrying that dream. That's why Pastor says some people don't reach the last stage, the conveying stage, because they gave up. They gave up. But the Bible says, after that woman has given birth, it says she remember her anguish no more. Because a man has been born. Because the dream has been realized. Because people are living the dream. Because the dream has been successful. So your dream that you're dreaming is not only for you. Then when that woman gives birth to that child can be a blessing to many people. So whatever dream that you're dreaming, friends, please, don't give up on your dream. It takes time, as our Reverend said. It takes stages, and you have to stand strong. Your dream will never come to pass if you don't work on it. Know what you do. Know what you realize. Know who you associated with. Because the Bible says, never mind, Joseph was in a prison, but the Bible says God favored him more, even in prison. When God has deposited something in you, Pastor, God must see that things come to light. Because he deposited that thing in you for people to know that indeed he is God. He is the God that made the deposit. So for that thing to come to pass, God will give you the strength to go through that challenge. Pastor, talking about deposits, before I hand over to Powell, you say dreams can do two things: aspiration and inspiration. Inspiration is where God deposits. It's where you catch the dream, right? So and you also mentioned we should be very careful on catching what we catch, the dreams that we catch. I'm talking about the inspiration and catching. I'm trying to put them together. So there are certain times in people's life, Satan deposits some things in them according to their dream. Then they catch this, Pastor. They start to carry this. Then at the end of the day, we don't see anything come to pass. So how can you be able to differentiate the divine deposit of Satan and the divine deposit of God?
Okay. Simple. Jesus gave us a summation of how we can know something comes from the Lord. It says by their fruits, what you produce. we will know what you produce. And one thing about dreams, your dream should be bigger than you. Your dream should be bigger than what you can control. You know, if I can cook rice now, share it and eat, I know how to cook rice. That's not your dream. You know how to do it. A dream is an assignment. It's something that is bigger than you, that you cannot control, you cannot do.
Hallelujah.
That is what a dream is. So it means effort. Anything you don't put effort to do is an inspiration. It is not from you. Okay? So a dream must be having, some extra effort you are putting in you. So most times today we see those people that are running with other people's dream, they do some effortless activities. So from there you will know, oh, this is not my own. Wow. They will just, sugarcoat, make fine, and run with somebody else's package. They left their own package. They don't make their own package. They carry somebody else's package. Even in preaching, you go to YouTube and this, that, you just take in somebody's package and come out. There's no inspirational aspect in you. Somebody has already worked for that. You go in, you don't read the word, you don't pray, you don't this, you just go in, I gotta preach, you just put it there. So that's how we know, you don't suffer, you don't labor at all, and you don't have love. And the next point, there is no passion or burden inside you. You just want to provide service. You don't have the burden. Unlike Nehemiah was in the king's palace, but when he saw the degradable situation with his people in Jerusalem, he asked for leave to go there because he saw the burden, he saw the emptiness, he saw the brokenness, he saw the disgrace over his people. Then he said, I am going to build the city walls. So we saw he did not have the materials, he did not have the ability, but he had the dream inside him. He had a passion. So somebody who has a dream, there's always that passion, that burden inside you. And most times you will not know how it will come about. You will not know at all. But if you see you have quick answers for everything you want, that is not a dream at all.
All right. So this person keep asking this question over and over. Leo, the last name is Boy, and he or she said, "What if you dream and you are playing with lion?" So we are not really interpreting dreams, but if anybody's on this line and you know how to interpret dreams, someone want to know because they have asked the question over 4 or 5 times. What if you are in the dream and you are playing with lion?
I can interpret that. Pastor just said your dream should be bigger than you.
Yes. So Reverend Michael said, also, man of God, I think it is safe to mention that not every dream comes from God. No, not one only. I was saying something about discernment. Okay, yeah. This is where discernment comes in. We need the spirit of discernment to be able to determine which dream is of God. So sometimes some people dream, but you would need to know whether it's actually from God. And you want to talk about that?
Quickly, let's just our viewers to know. We are not talking about interpretation of dreams here. We are talking about dreams that have to do with something the Lord deposits inside you, and you work towards bringing it into reality. When he mentioned about that, about the lion, I remember I lost a member in church just because of that. This member used to call me, "Oh, Pastor, I dreamed this dream today." Every day she would call me and ask me to interpret. I said, even though my sister, even though I am Joseph, but I'm not Joseph. So I said, I don't want to lie to you. I am not like other people. I don't want to lie to you. Say, this is what this dream. I don't know. I just tell her, okay, keep praying. Keep praying for God to interpret that dream to you. But for me, this specific, every day she'll call. And when I stopped, I told her that statement, she stopped coming to church. Yeah. Because she was looking for a church where dreams are interpreted every day.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah. So the last time on the show we talk about fake produce fake preacher or fake pastor, fake
preachers,
prophet.
yes.
You know, member will force you to lie to them because they want to hear something. So if you are some people who don't want to lose a member, you just lie to her. Like right now, I can chapel this drink. I can, because first thing, lion. My pastor preacher said one time about the characteristic of lion. Lion. Even though they are not the biggest, they are not the fastest, they are not even the strongest, but there is some mentality of lion. They feel that they are stronger than anybody. So because of that, the other animal they are afraid of. Even elephant are afraid of lion because the way lion carry themselves. So I can tell you when you see yourself playing with lion, it means you are powerful.
You have power.
But it might not be the interpretation. So sometimes fake member produce fake prophet because they will force you until you lie to them.
Yeah.
So one question I wanted to ask you: should we care if people don't like our dream?
That's good. Remember, as I told you, every man has a unique dream. Okay, and sometimes dreams differ from person to person, from situation to situation. And the answer is obvious. Not everybody will like your dream. Look at what Joseph had happened to Joseph. They envied him, they hated him because of his dream. Joseph's dream all had to talk about what? Being leader of his family and being leader of the world.
Savior, yeah.
The two dreams, that's the interpretation. The first dream he dreamt, that all the sheep in the farm, his own sheep stood straight and all others bowed down under him. That was the first dream. That meant that he was going to be leader, head of that Jacob family. And the other dream now, he dreamt the moon, the stars, everybody, the sun bowing under him. And what does that mean? He was going to be a cosmopolitan leader, a world leader. The sun, the moon, you can see the sun, the moon, the stars all over the world you go. So if he saw those things bound down on them, it means he was going to be a world-class leader, a global leader. Just like the United States president is a global leader. If you are the president of the United States, it means you are the number one person in the world. And we saw in those days, Egypt was a first class, a global world, country. If you are a leader in Egypt, it means you are controlling 1/3 of the world population at that particular point. So that second dream was talking about him being a global leader. The first dream was him being the leader. And how did it come to pass? When his brothers came back, they all bowed down. You saw that, right? Yeah. They paid obeisance to him, they bowed down to him. Meaning the dream came true. The dream came to pass. And when they came, they realized he was a prime minister, meaning a leader of the world.
The second dream.
The second dream.
Amen.
All right, folks.
Is that a contribution? Somebody just wrote something.
No, they said amen. Somebody said amen. And the person with the lion dream said thanks for that line to this. But you can take it as that. If you're playing with lion, it means you're a very powerful person. It means there's a potential in you. It means that what other people are afraid of, you are not going to be afraid of it. Where people cannot go, you can go there. Because lion is the king of the jungle. Right. So if you can play with the king of the jungle, it means there's a potential in you. But pray about it and see if God can show you something bigger than that. Right. The pastor said your dream should be bigger than you. If right now, if you can run 1,000 miles and then you dreaming to be a fast runner, dream about 2,000 miles. So always dream something bigger than that. Our time is fast spent. So we just want to wrap up, and Pastor is going to close up at this time. But we come here every Saturday at 1 o'clock. We hope to see you again so that you can have this blessing, share the blessing with us. And you can still send in your comments, ask your question, and we'll see how best we can answer them.
Amen. Welcome again to another edition. We hate to go, but we have to go. We pray that you have been blessed as Pastor is giving the last contribution for you. And we pray that whenever you have a deposit, it is from God in the name of Jesus. Yes, Pastor Joseph.
Okay, thank you. I want to end up this with the Esther story. When Esther was found in Susha Palace, she was captured, I can say a slave girl, with no main personality, nobody knew her, but God by destiny, positioned her. But at some point, Esther thought she was there for her own self, enjoying, You know, never did she know that God placed her there for a purpose. And this is what I want to end with. You know, wherever we are now, whatsoever you are dreaming is not about you. It's about somebody God wants you to save. So don't claim your dream for yourself and your family. God has deposited those stuff inside you for you to save humanity, just as He did with Joseph. God deposited those dreams in Joseph, you know, for him to save his own people, for him to provide rulership and leadership at a time of crisis, you know. And we have to know that we at any point in time when we are accentuating our dream, when we are putting our dream into action, don't think about yourself. Think about the people God has called you to serve. Very, very important.
Yeah.
So, folks, I want to say thank you very much for watching. We will come to you next Saturday. Our friends say, boys say, thank you. See you. Thank you. You will see me for the next show. So we just got a member, and she will be, or he will be following us as time goes by. We appreciate you. So it is our privilege to always come to you. If you have any burning topic that you want us to discuss, you can send it in our inbox. You can send it to our Grace inbox. You can send it to my inbox. You can send it to Born to Win inbox, and we'll discuss this thing. If you have any major question that we did not discuss, we did not answer, you can send it. I can call the pastor. We can connect with you. If you need prayer, the pastor is available. He's very humble. He's waiting to work with you. So anything you think we didn't talk about today and you really wanted to ask questions and you could not get through, just let us know. The pastor is available. He will always be around. So I want to say thank you very much for being with us, and thank you very much for joining us. We hope to see you again next Saturday, and have a very wonderful day. Enjoy this gospel music while we wrap up.
Yeah, we want to bless you. We pray that God will continue to bless your heart. And we don't want you to be ignoring your dreams. Dreams are very, very important. Today we said a lot of things about dreams that will help you. You know, we want you to know that in you giving back to your dream, it takes process. You cannot dream today and come to pass today. Joseph went through that process of rejection by his own people. David went through that process of rejection by his own parents. So we just want you to know that you are the one that's carrying that dream. As Pastor just round up with Esther, you know, whatever position that you're in, don't think that your dream is going to die there. Your dream can take you from that position to another level. Joseph had a dream in their own father's house, in his own father's house, but the dream come to pass in Egypt. So I just want you to be patient and have the courage that your dream will come to pass, and know who you explain your dream to. Sometimes we say, you know, not to explain our dream to other people, but I believe, what my belief is, whatever God has deposited in you, He will surely come to pass if you put an effort in it. Welcome again to another edition. We meet here every Saturday, the same time, 1 p.m. And next week is going to be another heavy topic that has to do with your destiny. God bless you, and we pray that God will bless you always. Have a nice weekend. Amen.